Hello everyone, Erica Rock, Spiritual Catalyst. Today to share a number of things to not do around Halloween. And I'm going to share this information in a humorous way. Though these topics or these things that I'm going to share, they're actually pretty serious. But I don't feel like being serious today. Like, I'm serious all the time. And I'm going to preface what I'm about to share that I may or may not have done several of these things. I may or may not. Remember, I'm a Scorpio. I'm actually a double Scorpio. So I love all things occult, things that no one knows about. I like to see beneath the beneath, the beneath, the beneath, the beneath. I like to stare into the dark. I am known back home in New Hampshire as that woman that knows how to take on weird things. So years upon years upon years, when I was living in New Hampshire, in the month of October, I would get several phone calls from distraught parents or freaked out teenagers because they played with a Ouija board and now their boyfriend is showing signs of possession. Like, I would be the person they would call to handle that stuff. So I'm into all things like weird and mystic and all that stuff. Hauntings, paranormal. I used to be a part of a paranormal PSI team. Did you know that? Did you know I did that? I did. I did that. And yeah, so anyway, dear friends, as we are getting deeper into October, the veils are thinning more and more and more and more. There are lost souls all over the planet that are looking for light workers that can help move them on to a better place so they can be at peace. And you might wonder, well, wait a second, like, how does that happen? How do souls get lost? Well, because sometimes, depending on how someone died, if it's a tragic accident, if Aunt Joanne's on so much morphine, she's like so messed up when she passes, she doesn't even know she's passed. Like, she's in this morphine-induced haze. That happens. Sometimes people feel like they have unresolved stuff here. Sometimes they want to watch over their family, and so they follow them around. And so, yeah, souls sometimes need to be crossed over. I'll do a video about that another day. But things not to do. Especially, like, these are things not to do ever, but especially in the month of October. But you know, we get those spooky vibes. We want to watch horror movies, and we want to, like, play in the dark, you know, or some of us do anyway. There's smart ones of you out there. They're like, hello, like, all set, thank you very much. Things not to do. Do not watch The Exorcist. Do not watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Do not watch the new Exorcist movies. Don't watch The Conjuring. Any movies regarding evil or the demonic, here's a little tidbit that you might not know, is when you watch a movie, let me just say, I have a friend that she literally she's called to do exorcisms on set in Hollywood. Because when people start, especially if they're reenacting things that actually did happen, it conjures that energy. And weird shit starts to happen on set. People have been killed, freak accidents, heavy vibes following people home from the set, and she's called to clear the set, clear the people. So when we watch these movies, and ghost hunting shows, I would advise against that. When we watch these movies, our TV set acts as a portal, and I have experienced things jumping through the screen. I have experienced that firsthand. So obviously I've done that. When I was 6, I watched The Exorcist, which was so traumatic that it blew me wide open. And it also like summoned, it was like, you know, the dark knows people that have like big missions, lots of light, lots to share. And they try to like shut that shit down really early. And stuff will usually happen around the age of 6 because previous to that, we're kind of in the protection of our parents' aura. And then once we get to around 6 years old, we separate and become like our individualized self. And so they did their best to come at me at a very young age and like shut me down. Don't watch those movies or shows. Let's not participate in seances. Like, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. We don't do that. We don't do that. No Ouija boards. We don't do that. We don't do that. No skipping down the aisle in the frozen food section of your grocery store chanting Satan. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because Satan is likely to answer. So we don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Stay away from haunted houses, especially if you're an empath. Because likely, like empaths, your light is super bright, and sometimes lost souls will literally mistake you for the light, and now they're attached to you, following you around, draining your energy, putting thoughts in your head, like, you know, stuff like that. So we don't do that. Don't go to haunted houses. Don't be one of the lead speakers at a paranormal conference. Did I do that? I might have done that. I might have done that. And there were so many trickster spirits at this Masonic temple. That's a video for another day. I had handouts to teach people how to clear their energy, clear spaces. Well, those spirits didn't want me to share their information, so you know what they did? They stole my handouts. They vanished into some dimension. Poof. Don't do that. Don't go into cemeteries trying to get EVPs, especially if you've had wine or any other alcoholic beverage. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't visit Skinwalker Ranch. Or there's another nasty little ranch in Arizona. Actually, it's not nasty, but there's portals everywhere. And a lot of us are literal stargates. So we don't need to be a stargate and then go into places and spaces where there are stargates and portals open with weird creatures moving in and out. We don't do that. We don't do that. What else? We don't try to conjure the dead. And I actually advise not trying to connect with passed over loved ones unless that is a skill you have and you're a master at it and you're very proficient and clear in what you're doing. We don't do that. We don't do that. What else? I think that's a pretty good list of things not to do. Yeah. I can't think of anything else right now. But if you can think of some things to add to this list, please do in the comments below. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. And if you know a friend or two that have, you know, parents of like teenagers, because that is like that's an age range where teenagers get really curious about this stuff. And so we might want to educate them so they don't get in over their head. And then they have to call me, the weird lady that knows how to deal with weird shit, to save their ass. So we don't do that. Or we do that, We don't do the other things. So this is my attempt at being kind of humorous around topics that are rather serious. Oh, we don't do sorcery, and we don't do black magic, and we don't hex and curse others or do evil eye, which if we boil it down, it really looks like this. You have strong negative emotions towards someone and you're obsessively thinking of them, and guess what? That directs really nasty energy to them, and you get to reap the rewards of the karma, because whatever we send out comes back ×3. So we don't do that. We don't do that. Or if we do that and we catch ourselves doing that, we're like, oh my God, what have I done? Clear, delete, clear, delete, clear, delete, and we forgive ourselves for that. And we forgive the other person best we can. Forgive and release, cut cords. All right, I think I'm done now. Again, if you have questions, please ask. And don't get, curiosity killed the cat. So if you have cats, don't let them get curious, especially if they're black cats. That one I'm kind of making up just to be funny, but you never know. You never know, guys. So stay in the light, stay bright, try to keep your vibe high, stay away from devil movies and all that stuff, okay? And you'll get through this Halloween just fine. You'll breeze right through it. It's like it never happened, all right? Love you all. I hope you enjoyed this information.